Set. All right, welcome to the Library Trustee meeting of November 9th, 2023. This meeting is being recorded, and let us begin with the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, we'll call the meeting to order, and let's begin by approving the minutes from September 26th, which was sent to you electronically.
We already did approve them,
You're
but
right.
these were amended. Yesterday I got an email from Jackie at the town clerk's office, and she stated that on page 4, I believe it is, 1, 2, 3, 4, yes, Miss Finn should replace Miss Smith. And Ben also caught one today on page 2, the second paragraph from the bottom. It should be Miss Carroll instead of Ms. Carter, attended the state aid training. So
So we will entertain a motion to amend the minutes from September 26th.
Mr. Chairman, I would move that we accept the amended September 26, 2023 meeting minutes.
You?
second.
And a second. Any other comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
It's unanimous. The vote was unanimous. It was made by Mr. Clark, and it was seconded by Ms. Korch. Just being good to the videographer. And our minutes person. All righty. Next on the agenda is the vote on the 30-hour library assistant position. That was posted internally for a week, and we had a nice conversation with our town administrator, and we were told that if at that point, after it's been posted internally, if there was a candidate from the internal posting that we as a group wish to hire, we did not have to go outside to post externally. Little unusual, because usually it's the director who deals with everyone below he or she, but because we are at the moment without a director or even an interim director, that's just about to change, but just because we're where we are going to vote on it, and I would like to hear some thoughts.
Actually, just to say,
Yeah.
Cheryl Hansen was in today, and she has signed the agreement, and she was meeting with Richard
Good.
regarding any benefits, and she also had a chance to sit down and talk with Courtney at length.
Yeah, it
And
was
they
great.
had a great
Yeah,
conversation.
yeah.
You could hear them laughing at the end of the library.
Cheryl Hansen's been fantastic. She has stepped up to the plate before she was on the payroll, talking about scheduling and talking about this. And one of her questions, basically she'd been talking to Pat and I, was any possibility of me meeting this person you're thinking of hiring internally before? And, and understandably, totally so, and we talked about it, and we said, of course. And so she came in today at 3, and it's great because there was the turnover for staff was at 3:30. So she got to meet everybody on staff, except for Lita, because Lita had a personal day today. But she got to meet all sorts of people, and as Pat just said, sat down at the end of the library for a good 20 minutes with Courtney, and came up, and we're chit-chatting after, and she goes, and by the way, I approve. Which is great, because we were comfortable, and now that she got to, it all worked out nicely. So, at this point, what's Courtney's last name?
Ekstrom.
Thank you. I wasn't coming up with her last name. That's an interesting last name.
Ekstrom.
Yes.
Ekstrom.
So I will entertain a motion.
Okay, I make a motion to approve Courtney Ekstrom to be hired for the 30-hour library assistant position.
Second.
And that is at grade, can we put that in there?
Yes, it's a grade 3 position.
Okay.
Okay, we have a motion by
Second.
Pat and a second by
Second.
Richard. Do we have any comments?
The
Discussion?
question I
Yes.
would have is, do we have a start date in mind for both Courtney and Cheryl?
Cheryl is next Tuesday, and Courtney is just gonna be plugged into the schedule probably next week at 30 hours.
Roll right in.
Yep, roll right into it, because
Excellent.
she's on the payroll and everything, she doesn't need the quarry, she doesn't need the medical, she doesn't need, it's just sliding her right in and just utilizing her, because, Susan retires on Wednesday.
Oh my gosh, that's right.
Exactly.
Okay.
And we've already talked to Cheryl that next week we'll throw another, ad out there, circulate something to start filling more bodies, so. And we received permission from the town administrator to hire a part-time person, because we took 2 almost 20-hour positions to make Courtney's 30-hour position. Obviously, there's a
An hour,
difference there.
yep.
And so we have gotten permission, as long as our budget can handle it, to hire a part-time person. Didn't leave it to 10, I just said part-time because of sickness and vacation time and who knows what all.
Right.
We are going to be tight, so.
Right. And
eh,
actually, this is filling in for Courtney leaving also, so that's a
Right.
third body.
And Cheryl will take the lead in terms of interviewing this person.
At this point, we
Yeah.
turn it over, we step back and we
Fantastic.
step back and we let Cheryl run the ship, because that's what her job is. So, did we take a vote?
I interrupted you.
I know, I said, we didn't get a
Not
vote.
yet.
We haven't had a vote
The
yet.
motion was made and seconded.
So, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, it was unanimous. Very good. Update on the interim director position. I think Pat has pretty much told you what we're doing. I mean, she's right on schedule, and I couldn't be happier. I mean, she was in there laughing and enjoying the staff that was there, and she had to come up here at 4. She had an appointment here at 4 to meet with Rich to do the paperwork, and we had one more person coming in at 4, and she says, I gotta leave. She says, but I'll go, do my thing, and then I'll come back and I'll make sure I meet her. So.
Fantastic.
I'm assuming that happened, because Pat and I did leave at that point.
Has she had the opportunity to meet with Lita yet?
No.
Not yet.
That has not happened yet.
Okay,
No, not in any shape, manner.
okay.
That'll be Tuesday morning.
That'll be, yeah, Tuesday morning. Update on grade 2 salary appeal meeting. Appeal is an interesting word. It's just the verbiage that they use. And that was for Ann's job to become a senior aide. Did I say the word right?
Senior
Thank you.
library aide, right.
Senior library aide, grade 2. And because, again, she's within our organization, and we're just recognizing her knowledge and her abilities and her longevity, there's an appeal process to step her up. And we, again, Mr. Reuter is the one who ran that meeting, and Lita and Ann, Pat, Ben, and John met at the library. And it was great, because we said, we have to ask you to come to the library, because we'll have to close the library, because we only have 2 people there. So he got the real picture that, and we literally sat behind the circulation desk in the back room, so we could see, and every so often, Lita had to go out to deal with the public, because we're that short at the moment. And so the appeal was, and basically, John, it's a formality in this paperwork that he has to just fill out to recognize this is a difference from grade 1 to grade 2, and that she does everything on grade 2, and he asked the pertinent questions, she answered them, we just supported it, and it went smoothly. So,
This is the form.
yeah, this is what he was filling out. Boom.
Does that mean that she gets an increase in salary? Or
Yeah, she gets an increase in salary. Yep. And she had already said that she would, in the short term, come back and help out with hours, because she knows we're hurting. So
Work
she,
on Tuesday,
she's come back and working on Tuesdays, so.
It would be, I think, invaluable in terms of a new person coming on and
Exactly.
training.
So-
As much as Cheryl knows, there are building-related issues.
Oh,
that
sure.
we
I mean,
need to cover.
perfect example was today, I handed her the bunch of keys, and she says, yeah, I know I'm probably gonna be the first one on Tuesday, because I wanna get here and I'll figure it out. She says, and how about an alarm system?
Oh,
I said, oh, Ann, because Ann was walking out the door, her shift had just ended. Ann, would you go? And I said, and I'll watch too, because I haven't done it in ages either. So it was, and
Good.
Ann was more than willing to, and stepped right up there and little bit of education on that system.
I just got nervous when I happened to see the note about, we were at the library for the appeal, and I'm like,
Yes.
whoa!
Well, that's just it. That
Oh, the
word-
smokes, what's going on with an appeal?
I should have, yes, that word is an interesting word.
Understood, no, and that's fine, and I thought that something was in the works.
Yeah.
I was just like, did I miss something? And I'm looking back through, and I'm like, I just have to say something, because I would be remiss if I did not bring it up, so thank you very
Yeah,
much for that.
yeah.
Yeah.
We had no idea what to expect. really.
Under-
Yeah, none of us did it, except John, I guess, because the four of us kind of went, okay, what are we in for? And we just
Yeah,
listened and
I
answered the
thought
questions.
maybe there'd be 3 people there showing up, that'd be from some board. but-
Board of Appeals of some sort, no.
Right.
It was
We
very
don't
simple.
no longer have a personnel board, so it's,
Board of one,
what's that?
a board of one.
Board of one.
Oh, anyway. Oh, next one, number 5, MBLC compliance follow-up. Recently, we found out we are not in compliance. We have not informed the MBLC that Drusilla left officially, and there's a paperwork to be filled out. We have not officially put anyone in as interim. There's paperwork to be done.
It's way, if you go to the ARIS information, state aid, it's way down the bottom.
Okay.
There are forms.
Because they certainly knew that Drusilla had left. I don't think there was any questions in their minds as far as that.
Yeah.
I think she was on the phone pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Well,
So they did know, but they weren't informed officially.
Right.
officially, we have to do some paperwork.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's basically just filling out, it's a regular, it's a form, it's not a, that's it.
Acting, oh, there's one for you too. Acting director,
Well, thank you.
Formality.
yeah. And we decided that yours truly could be acting director. I mean,
Yeah,
just,
it's been-
just.
Yeah, you
fill it
filled a
in.
lot of holes
Just to-
in, during this, kind of rough
Just to
patch.
keep it
Yeah.
moving and
Yeah.
volunteer, not having to deal with anything
On
else.
that note,
Yeah.
before I make an exit here, and I'm not doing that too soon, I would like to thank both Ben and Pat, because you two, I think, have shared the yeoman's chore here, and have stepped up as far as your availability. I know others have work responsibilities, and that makes it a little more makes it a lot more difficult, to be honest. But you've been available, made yourselves available. I took that little hiatus out to the west, so I was waving from a distance if best. So
We could
again,
feel your
hats off.
thoughts.
I should put my hat on so I can take it off. I appreciate that you've done this. You've kept the ship afloat. Now that it looks like we're no longer taking on water, we can actually get this thing out to sea.
Exactly, thank you.
Yes,
Thank
your availability has really been fantastic.
Should we make this official with a vote?
To have,
Yeah.
to name Ben as an acting director?
Yes.
I would probably ask that we approve a motion to have Mr. Craver act as interim director or acting director for
Okay.
a short term.
For a week. I second.
Okay, thank you. First and second, motion made by Richard, second by Adriana. Any other comments? All in favor?
Aye.
I will get these sent in with including Drusilla's resignation, but I will also call Mary Rose tomorrow and have a little chit chat and explain what's been going on.
And I will provide you with the third one to show that Cheryl has been hired.
That's true, we can
Right.
do the next one,
And
yes.
then we need yet one more, because she'll need to submit her certification.
Right, and she, by that point, she'll do it, probably.
Might even be able to get one envelope, one stamp.
Think
I
you
am
click an email.
All about saving money, absolutely.
Email, definitely.
Stamps aren't cheap. They're almost as much as a card at the dollar store. You know?
If you're at the dollar store, you're right.
The $1.25 store.
I know.
Oh, all righty. This was going to be a short meeting, and that's nice. I will entertain any comments or observations, whatever. We didn't get put down on here, but I will definitely entertain anything, any questions.
The only thing I would say, Mr. Chairman, is I think this has been a better meeting than many of those that we've had recently, in terms of, I've noticed a number of smiles and a few laughs around the table, and hopefully that's a harbinger of things to come as we settle, and everything
Totally
settles
agree.
itself out, and we really get this thing going again. There was a meeting, and maybe Guy might have mentioned it, Economic Development met with two folks from the CMRPC, and there's some thought of trying to do something to develop the West Main Street area, if you will, coming in from Webster into Dudley. And I think what we're looking to do eventually, and I know timing is somewhat uncertain at this point, with the Crawford's Corner, I think that kind of fits well into that. And hopefully those folks will keep that in mind as we go forward with try to revitalize the area, if you will.
Good. I'd like to thank Adriana for rounding up some volunteers for a reading. That's great.
Totally good. I mean, Monday night's reader was a nurse. So I introduced myself because I was going to read, but we bring other people from the outside. Definitely, I'll step back and just help. And introduced myself. She introduced herself, and we chit-chatted a minute. And I said, "Oh, and what school are you in?" Because I thought she was a nurse, and I assumed she was a school nurse. No. She's a school committee person. In her real life, she's a nurse. Yeah.
God bless her.
Yeah. And she did an excellent job, and she put it out there, and she's already got a couple principals who want to do it.
Nice.
And so we're gonna bring in extra community people, and I just said I will always go and support. I have no problem.
That's a win-win in all
Isn't it?
cases,
Yep.
because the more the community comes into the building and
Yep,
experiences the
exposes
things that
what's
go
going
on in
on.
the building, you know, building support,
Yep.
brick by brick.
Exactly.
And we
So-
have fireman reading on Tuesday morning
Yeah.
at 11 o'clock.
Oh, nice.
Firemen's coming in, they couldn't do evening, but they're coming into the morning one with
Okay.
Lita.
Great.
I'm glad that this is finally a success.
Yes,
Yeah.
so, I mean, we didn't have a
Thank you
big
for that.
crew. We had 6 this past Sunday,
Yes.
but it was
Yeah.
fine. It was
still
fun.
6 more people.
I'm sure the numbers are gonna fluctuate
Exactly.
every week, but 6 children are being serviced is more than 0.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
And the first time we had 12, then we had 6 again, so
Yep.
it really depends on the week, you know, if it's Halloween or if it's a special
Well,
day.
it was predicted that we might have more because it was the Girl Scout in the Fells room, and they kind of overlapped, and they would sneak in, and then they snuck out to the Girl Scout. But that didn't happen this time. So who knows? And then, last thing before we close, I think I'd like to give Cheryl permission to get going on hiring. And, you know, I don't know if that's
Right.
it is a position, because we've got to tell her that she can
Right.
do it. And Richard said Jonathan said as long as our budget can hold it, go for it. And we obviously can at the moment, because we've been saving salaries. And Cheryl realizes that going into the next budget, she's gonna have to really sit down and figure out what our budget can be and what we can afford. But right now, we're just gonna load ourselves up a little to make it work.
So you're looking at posting a 10-hour or a part-time
Part-time.
position. And is that one that's going to be posted internally first for a week, and then it will go external if there's no,
Yes.
I
Okay.
expect so,
Yes.
yeah.
okay,
And we've already heard from a couple people that there are some people interested.
excellent.
So, not internally, externally. I've not heard anything internally about
Right.
this, but, so, all good. So we will move along in that, and that's just a FYI more than anything, 'cause
Right.
it's just gotta happen.
Yeah. No,
Our
that's
next
great.
scheduled meeting would be,
Of November? No, we have no scheduled meeting until December.
December 5th, because it was gonna be right
Right.
before Thanksgiving, so we said we'll jump it to December.
December 5th.
And we've been meeting enough.
Unless-
You don't have to look at us, we don't have to look at each other
Just in
again for a
case,
while.
you know,
We're
just
very
unless-
active.
Yeah, unless something comes up that we
Oh,
absolutely.
trust
have
me,
to
we'll
vote
do
on.
another one of these if we have to,
Yeah.
you know.
Mr. Chairman, if it's not out of order, I would make a motion that we adjourn.
It's very good. I have a motion from Richard to adjourn.
Second.
I would
I have a
second.
second from, we'll let Kate do one.
Right, exactly.
All in favor?
Aye.
We are adjourned.
All righty.
Run away.